History of the Ottoman Empire. Origins. It was the year 1299 AD when the leader of the Turkish tribes that inhabited Anatolia had a dream of an enormous tree growing out of him and covering the whole world. This ruler went by the title Osman I. The Ottoman Empire was founded in 1299 AD and a formal government was set up. Their territory expanded under the leadership of Osman I, Orhan, Murad I, and Bayezid I. In 1453, Mehmed II led the Ottoman Turks in raiding and seizing the ancient city of Constantinople, which was the former capital of the Byzantine Empire, bringing an end to the 1,000-year reign of the Byzantines. Mehmed renamed the city to Istanbul and made it the new capital of the Ottoman Empire. Mehmed passed away in 1481, and his oldest son Bayezid II took over his position as Sultan. The rise. By 1517, Bayezid's son Salim I had captured Syria, Arabia, Palestine, and Egypt, bringing them under the control of the Ottomans. The Ottoman Empire reached its peak from between 1520 and 1566, under the rule of Suleiman the Magnificent. This period was known for the great power and stability brought by the Ottoman Empire. Suleiman created a uniform law system and welcomed new forms of art and literature. Under Suleiman's rule, the empire expanded and grew to include parts of Eastern Europe. Ottoman art and science. The Ottomans were known across the world for their achievements in art and science. Istanbul and the other major cities of the empire were regarded as artistic hubs. Some of the most popular forms of art included calligraphy, painting, poetry, textiles, and carpet weaving, ceramics, and music. Science was also regarded as a very important field of study. The Ottomans learned, practiced, and taught complex levels of mathematics, astronomy, philosophy, physics, geography, and chemistry. Additionally, some of the greatest advancements in medicine were made by the Ottomans. They invented several surgical instruments that are still used today, such as forceps, catheters, scalpels, pincers, and lancets. The decline. Starting in the 1600s, the decline of the Ottoman Empire began. The economic and military advantage they held over Europe began to slip. Around this time, Europe began to grow in strength rapidly with the Renaissance and the dawn of the Industrial Revolution. The empire began to weaken due to poor leadership and being forced to compete in trade with giants like the Americas and India. In 1683, the Ottomans faced a devastating loss at the Battle of Vienna, which added to their already waning status. Over the next 100 years, the empire began to lose major pieces of territory. After a revolt, Greece gained its independence from the Ottomans in 1830. In 1878, the Congress of Berlin declared the independence of Serbia, Bulgaria, and Romania from the empire. During the Balkan Wars in 1912 and 1913, the empire lost nearly all of its territories in Europe. At the start of World War I, the Ottomans joined on the side of the Central Powers and were defeated in 1918. Following the armistice of Mudros, the Ottoman territories were split between Britain, France, Russia, and Greece. The empire officially ended in 1922, when the title of Sultan was eliminated.